So I have not, as of this moment, watched the whole PlayStation, not even showcase, state of play. I have seen clips. I've seen articles like this. And you guys in chat have been telling me that there are a handful of interesting things in the showcase. So we're going to experience it together. And I'm sure all of you guys will know already what is going to be found and seen. And so I am braced and quite nervous. I don't really know what to expect other than what I suspected at the outset, as we talked about on the podcast the other day. I am expecting Concord is going to look a poopy. And then I'm expecting that God of War Ragnarok on PC probably looks really good because it already looked good on last gen hardware even. So I'm guessing that'll look good. Astro Bot, I'm sure it's going to look awesome because Astro Bot's awesome. And I'm not really expecting much more than that. Really not. So let's see what we have to play with. The whole showcase is about 30 minutes long. Big wind up, all the countdowns, and let's see what we got.
Hi everyone, I'm Asad Kizilbash, head of...
What a name, Kizilbash. Head of product, PlayStation Studio. I'm just gonna turn this off. Head of PlayStation Studio and PlayStation Products. Oh, okay.
Products at PlayStation Studios and head of PlayStation Productions. I'm here to welcome one of the newest members of the PlayStation Studios family, Firewalk. This team brings together some of the most talented developers in our industry, with an incredible pedigree in the online multiplayer space. We announced their first game, Concord, last year, and today, they're revealing gameplay captured in-engine on PS5. But first, here's...
Wait. That verbiage was weird. In-engine on PS5. So is that just a cinematic? Is that what he's saying? Or is this like that stupid in-engine cutscene when it's just like totally unrealistic? I don't know. X to doubt. Yeah, I'm afeared. This is the face I imagine they always make whenever they pitch a new live service game. This is all I see in my mind.
An extended vignette introducing some of the cool characters you'll find in the Concord Galaxy.
Yay, cool characters. Enjoy. I was gonna say, I don't want it, but if there's cool characters. Firewalk. Okay.
Oh, boy. Oh,
all the film grain.
Wasn't the plan.
It was a spontaneous, creative decision made after years of careful research.
Being really old and almost dying a bunch doesn't count as research.
Almost dying is the best way to learn how not to die. Besides, it worked, didn't it?
How much longer for the upload?
A few more minutes. Hey, start time. Try it with hot sauce. You'll like it. Trust me.
No. Do not trust him.
Whoa. Where's this coming from?
It's coming from you back on the ship saying, trust me, we're professionals. We'll stick to the plan. We can do this. And then, that. That was not the plan.
Technically, it was a plan. It just wasn't the same plan that we started with.
If we don't leave with this blue button...
Amar, we will. We will.
I'll be waiting outside.
No one moves. We'll be taking this off your hands.
What? This?
Funny.
Slow them down a little for you. Meet at the rendezvous point.
Wait, what? Where's the rendezvous? I didn't catch that.
Copy that, Bill.
Shield out!
Well played. You are wounded.
Fine. They only got one of my legs.
How are those hands? How bad is it? You're still mad at me?
Lennox!
Got him.
One off. This is you.
Got it!
I am developing a taste for destruction. Goodbye.
This would be a very dishonorable way for us all to die.
Don't worry. Nobody's dying dishonorably. And also, we're bringing this back with us. Hey, Mark. What are you doing?
Getting us to the rendezvous point.
Perhaps we should have let go also.
One off. Do not dare.
But we were supposed to stick together.
If you let go,
would
I
never leave me.
swear I will bring
Oh,
vengeance.
look, there they are.
I am glad you avoided a dishonorable death.
Almost dying is the best way to learn how not to die. Or something.
I knew this was gonna work.
This wasn't the plan.
Well, it just wasn't the one we started with. All right, another satisfied customer. Goods delivered. I sent everyone their cut.
Ooh, yeah.
So do you, like, carry it around with you for emergency bland situations or whatever?
Hey, Mara. Don't joke about something like this.
Our next job is somewhere with less
I
scaffolding.
have no scaffolding. Zero scaffolding. I promise. We were apart for so long. I thought I'd never feel your fiery embrace again.
You sound ridiculous.
Concord is a 5v5 first-person shooter set.
And then they're like, Control Z. If you were interested, Control Z. So I was going to say at the end of this trailer, the impression I get from all of this is like, oh, interesting. It's clearly like Guardians of the Galaxy inspired. Like you have the brute who's kind of stupid, all about honor, but is deep down soft inside. Then you have the kind of stupid robot tree Groot archetype, but he's endearing, so you just find him lovable. Then you have the cynical Gamora type who's just very, very sharp and smart, by the book as well. And then you have the bumbling buffoon who gets everybody into trouble, but he means well. It's an archetype we've seen like 1,000 times, and it's not one we've seen 1,000 times because it's bad. You know, it's a trope because it tends to work. But this is one of the more transparent attempts that I can think of in recent memory, because like it doesn't, it's hard to find what it's doing unique. Like what other than the hot sauce is really unique about this? I really don't know. Now, granted, it's a small cinematic trailer, so it doesn't really tell you much, but not a whole lot to go on. If I saw this, I'd be like, cool, but what is the game? And then they immediately tell you, and I think it spoils a lot of the interest. This right here.
Concord is a 5v5 first-person shooter set in the vibrant sci-fi universe of the Concord galaxy. In Concord, from the moment you log on, you're part of the crew of the North Star, a group of guns for hire known in our galaxy as free gunners. Free gunners are those lucky enough to be free to roam the stars. They take high-stake jobs on worlds across wild space, where they face other fiercely competitive free gunner crews. Here's the very first look at the gameplay of Concord.
But again, like that whole trailer, no part of it even thematically fit with, well, I think what they were trying to do is like one team was in the restaurant eating, the other team surprises them, and so then it's like 5v5 while one team's trying to escape. But again, it's just a 5v5. Like it's just Overwatch basically. Like it's, you have to really stretch to figure out what that trailer, like how that ties into what the game actually is, you know?
Free gunning. It's hard work.
And the other thing, I'm sorry, it's just all flooding into my brain at once. The other thing is that that cinematic trailer gets you interested in the game that doesn't exist. So the immediate follow-up, literally seconds after that trailer plays, it's an immediate letdown of it's a 5v5 character shooter or hero shooter. Oh, okay. I kind of wish you hadn't even got my hopes up with that. Like, now the whole thing is framed in a disappointing light. Whereas if they just came out straight with, hello, this is a 5-player shooter that, you know, this is what it is. They show the gameplay and then that cinematic trailer, that might work better. But instead it's just, it feels like they set you up to just be disappointed immediately.
But it's our work, and we don't take it for granted. Being a free gunner means, well, you're free.
Right on target. Yeah, you better run.
Free gunners have a shot at making something of themselves. A chance to be someone.
All right. Need a second to fix myself up.
Why not?
And in the
Like, I'm really stretching to try and see what this does differently or really uniquely. And like, it looks pretty, but other than that, like, I really don't know what else to say. Like, it's just an Overwatch clone. Like, at least Lawbreakers had the cool zero gravity mechanic and really interesting level design and stuff like that. This just, I don't know what the unique hook is, you know?
wilds, it's anyone's game. You won't survive on your own.
Target blinded.
Finally, to battle. Endless rage!
We risk our lives every day to do the job.
I'll clear the way. Time to show them the big guns. That's me.
This crew will go anywhere. Take any job. Face any enemy. We're the free gunner crew of the North Star. And together, we're going to make our mark on this galaxy.
The crew is gathering. Would you like to join us for game night?
Like, again, everything they show that seems moderately like, oh, I could play that, is a sequence like this, a shot like this, that's not the game. So it's like, why are you showing it? You know, like, why are you showing it if it's just not, like, if it's not there? You know? And here's the thing with these games, like, a game like this, to be successful, can't just be good. Because this game has to win over a set group of players that already have a live service game they're playing. You have to win over the Overwatch players. You know, you got to win over the people who, I don't even know if you can still play Lawbreakers, but like, you have to win over everybody else playing 5v5 shooters and bring them over, because those gamers already have their game of choice. So this has to be so good that they're willing to leave their game of choice that they've spent months or years playing, and that they've potentially spent money on microtransactions and cosmetics and battle passes, whatever else that that particular game of choice might have. So you have to be so good that people are willing to leave that other game permanently to come and play this. Temporarily doesn't work. If they come and play this for a month and then they leave, that doesn't work. You have to have this become their new main game. And it has to also be so good that they can get their friends that they play with to move with them to this. That's not an easy thing to do. Okay, it's quite difficult.
With Concord, we leaned on the strengths and background of our team to make a tight, well-balanced FPS that feels great to play. We focused a ton of our attention and our tech on building a strong gameplay foundation of tight core movement, precise visceral shooting, and expressive abilities.
We ended up finding ourselves influenced a lot.
I'm sorry, that's just a lot of nonsense marketing term like that. I understand the scripts are written by the marketing team and the PR guys, but like that doesn't tell you anything about the game. Expressive abilities, visceral shooting. Cool. I'd hope so. Like core fundamental gameplay. Yeah, it better be fundamental, otherwise we got a problem. You know, like you're not telling me anything useful.
By fighting games and even strategy games in the interesting way that the asymmetry of their characters makes every fight, every matchup feel really different.
Leaning into the asymmetry of the characters, really pushing the possibility space of two different characters colliding. It's all about creating opportunities for improvisation. That's where we can get out of the way and let players find their own magic. We also have abilities that are meant to have impact beyond direct combat. Deployable gear that can persist throughout a full game, so whether that's multiple rounds of a mode or multiple respawns across a match. There are healing pads, bullet blocking domes, explosive traps, lane blocking walls, all kinds of ways to support your team or disrupt your enemies. Coordinated teams can set up and plan ahead, and depending on where and when it happens, players can shift the battlefield to their advantage.
We've got everything.
Again, how is that any different from any other? Like again, it's just more Overwatch. Like it's just more Overwatch.
From mystics and medics to gunslingers and spark.
Okay, wait, look. Okay, so playable characters. More trash bombs with higher damage. Variant combat trait. So you're going to unlock combat traits that have gameplay affecting stuff. Oh, they have pronouns for the robot. The robot has pronouns. It's a robot.
Robots. Every character brings their own unique.
Like I don't care for like for humans or creatures and so like whatever. Cool. It's a robot. I'm confused. Okay.
Personality, skills, and wide-ranging perspectives to the crew. Every week, when you log into Concord, you will be welcomed with a new cinematic vignette that will give you a chance to see our characters off the job. They will feature ongoing narrative arcs that.
Okay, so they have cinematics. So they're trying to meld the story side with the live service side, and they're actually putting effort into the cinematics. Okay. I like that more than like the what we got with like Suicide Squad's recent episode 2 thing where it was like basically just Redfall pictures, you know, it was like a cartoon, things like that.
Log into Concord. You will be welcomed with a new cinematic vignette that will give you a chance to see our characters off the job. They will feature ongoing narrative arcs that grow the characters' stories and relationships and unpack the broader Concord galaxy.
Why are you kissing a tchotchke?
We're excited to share that we'll be hosting a pre-launch beta in July, followed by Concord's global launch on August 23rd, 2024.
Is it free to play? Nope. Okay, well. Start pre-ordering June 6th. I swear to God, if this is $70, does anyone know, have they announced pricing yet? If it's like a 40 butt, Freudian slip. If it's a $40 thing where it's like, you know, Helldivers level, okay, a little bit better. If it's 70, that's like, there is just no way I see this working out well. Monarch pack. Get ready for all the packs, ladies and gents. Real quick, can somebody tell me in chat, I've never tried to do it myself, but if you pre-order something on Steam to get access to like a beta, if you play the beta for more than 2 hours, can you return the game since you got access to the beta through the pre-order? Is that a thing you can do? Or if you play the beta too long, will you not be allowed to return it? You could for Starfield. They just announced they changed it, if I remember correctly. Not anymore. Ragnarok on PC. So all of that to say, I think like I just don't see this working out well. I'll probably get access to it and try it. I hate sickos more than I hate Concord. I would sacrifice my Victorian clock tower mansion dream house to not have Concord. But anyway, it's I'll try it. I'll try it. See what it's like. But let me take that blow for everybody. Don't go and buy it yourself. We'll see. But I mean, no part of that looks unique. It looks like, you know, they're trying to say, yeah, we tried to focus on dynamic gameplay where each character was different, but synergized with the rest of the team. It's like, bro, that's been a thing since like, what was like Team Fortress? Like this has been a thing for ages. What are you talking about? You know, but okay. So Concord, if I had to vote it on a scale of like Redfall to Lawbreakers, I think I'd vote it sicko stinky. It's just, it's not working for me. I'm not a fan. Smells mighty stinky. Okay, let's see how good Ragnarok looks. Let's cleanse our palate.
You seem like a calm and reasonable person. Are you? A calm and reasonable person.
You don't really want war, do you, Kratos?
War is coming. The prophecies say Fimbulwinter leads to Ragnarok.
You will die, Kratos of Sparta.
Death can have me when it earns me.
Odin's got tricks up his sleeve we haven't dared to consider.
We have guests! They're too fast! Look out!
Dude, the game's so freaking good. God!
Fate only binds you if you let it. Do what is necessary. Not because it is written.
Yep, looks amazing. Looks amazing. What else is there to say? Ultra wide support, that's fantastic. The game looks beautiful. Comes with the Valhalla DLC, that's fantastic. I mean, again, what else is there to say? It looks fantastic. You know, it's like cool. The other, I guess, the one thing to point out, I guess it is worth bringing up, Kinemansky. It has been confirmed. You can see it on the Steam listing. It will require a PlayStation Network account and login to play. Even though it doesn't have anything online, even though it doesn't have an online mode at all, it will require a PSN account. So the thing everybody was freaking out about Helldivers 4, it's the case here, except they don't have the excuse of it having a multiplayer mode. Same with Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima on PC requires a PSN account to play the multiplayer mode and is therefore also not allowed to be sold in countries and territories where you can't have a PSN account. But again, at least there's a multiplayer mode to explain it. Here, there is no multiplayer mode. So the only reason there is a PSN requirement is seemingly for PlayStation trophies, for tracking monthly users and stuff like that. Like I don't know why else they would be forcing it other than they just want this to be required for everything that they put out on PC, and that's just how it's going to be. And everybody's going to suck it up and like it. Whether that's enough for you to not go and play the game on PC, I don't know. That's kind of an up to you thing. I know some people were very much down for boycotts of Helldivers 2 and everything until they lifted that requirement. But with this, they're not lifting the requirement. And they've communicated clearly now at the outset it's going to be required. And it's like, if you don't like it, just don't buy it. So vote with your wallet. If enough people don't buy the game and the reason they're not buying it is because of that, Sony will change their mind. I have a feeling, though, a lot of people are just going to conveniently forget that they were upset about it and still buy it. That would be my guess. And I told you guys back with the Helldivers 2 thing, I was like, they're going to keep pushing for this. They're going to do it for Ghost of Tsushima. They're going to do it for all the other PC ports they do. And eventually people just get used to it and stop complaining about it. And that's what's going to happen here. But people in those countries are still able to buy Ghost of Tsushima. I thought maybe they lifted it. I was pretty sure that it was still on the Like Steam wasn't available, or they didn't list it as available to purchase in those territories or countries. If you use like a VPN, you could, or if you set your country elsewhere, you could still buy it. But I thought if you had your country set in those territories, you couldn't buy it. Maybe they changed it. Either way, something to consider if it's something you care about. For me, I have a PSN account because I have a PlayStation. So for me, like, it's not frankly that big of a deal, but it's up to everybody if they feel like they should boycott the game as a result. Yeah, we still can't. Panda says not. So yeah. So there's that. Other than that, God of War Ragnarok looks swagalicious, I believe is the technical term. The once in future Jake, thank you for the 5. I guess I'm on the outside for the discourse for Concord. I thought it looked fun. I get tired of the internet erupting whenever a game isn't for them. Yeah, I think it's just, it's another, so in every industry, there are certain metas and certain meta discussions, sort of the zeitgeist, the world spirit of the discourse around that industry. And at certain times, the meta narrative lines up perfectly with a release that perfectly exemplifies everything wrong with the industry at that time. So right now, the meta of the gaming industry is that big, like massive corporations are sucking the life and soul out of the industry by forcing otherwise very capable devs to do live service games that are purely designed from the ground up to milk their audience for all they're worth. It's just designed to pull money out of you. And they also are extremely derivative of other content. They don't really do anything that novel or interesting. They're just more of what we've seen before. And so when we get a game that perfectly exemplifies that, we sort of hoist it up as a prime example of what's wrong, almost like the golden calf. We all start chanting and raving about it. And some games like Forspoken perfectly encapsulate the cringy writing, same with like Saints Row Reboot. And so those games become universally mocked because they perfectly explain what's wrong with the industry right now. Even if it's more complicated and nuanced than that, it's just one studio. They don't represent the whole industry. It's a perfect representation, effectively, of what's wrong with the industry. And for Concord seems to be, right now, a justifiable representation of what people feel is wrong with the industry. If you have fun with the game, cool. Awesome. More power to you. In the same way, some people had fun playing Forspoken. Some people had a lot of fun playing Gollum. You know? I'm sure somebody out there had fun playing that game. But when we're trying to evaluate the game as like a gaming critic or as somebody just trying to evaluate it as a product, there are certain things that need to be done in order for it to meet certain standards. And I don't think Concord checks those boxes. You know, I would be more interested in Concord if it was a turn-based JRPG. At least it would be different. Society has moved past the need for hero shooters. I think there's just so many. And like I said, in order to be a successful hero shooter, you have to win over people from other hero shooters that are very entrenched in their games. And you literally cannot have a hiccup. You can't have a hiccup. If you have a hiccup and you have like a bad season or a bad update, those players just leave and go somewhere else. They go back to the old game that they started on. And that's a huge hurdle. You know, you can't have a single stumble. Otherwise you're screwed. Helldivers 2 had that big scandal with PSN accounts and stuff, and they still haven't really recovered from it. They had player numbers drop a lot, and it's because people broke the habit of logging in and playing the game every night because they were upset about the PSN requirement, and a good chunk of them just didn't come back. It's crazy, but that's just how it is. What's this?
Soldiers and officials alike oppress the people for personal gain, and the people must turn to thievery for food. Perhaps this is heaven's way of lamenting the state of the land. Men are powerless at the feet of the divine. But even so, someone must act.
maybe. Okay. Okay. Norcat's such a troll. Where's the diversity? Yeah. Where's Tom Cruise? Yeah, exactly. Where's the real samurai? I honestly, I think that looks good. That looks fun. That gets me way more excited than like Rise of the Ronin. That's very interesting to me. I like that.
Momo, I think I was dreaming.
It wasn't a dream. We were really transported to Mirrorland.
The path of a stylist is never easy. So, are you ready for it?
Ready.
Ready!
Is it you who pursues infinity? Or is infinity awaiting you?
Oh God. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, guys. I'm hard to play. I mean, that game looks hard to play. That's gonna be hard for me to justify to play. Is it hot in here? Oh God. Yeah, you guys have been asking, like, you guys have been asking, Luke, where's the next critique? When are you doing the next big critique? Imagine if I just shadow dropped a 5-hour critique of that game. And we're just like, there we go. Now do I do that for the memes? That could be funny. That could be really funny. See, what I think a studio should do, just for the memes and the hell of it, they should start a trailer like that, and then they should go and, like, 30 seconds in, you know, Ganon shows up and just destroys the whole village, and you just see like you know, these cutesy cats and animals torn apart, and, like, you know, tear gas and mustard gas everywhere. I think that would be, just for the memes, people would lose it. It would go viral. It would go viral instantaneously. You know, someone kills the fake protagonist. Exactly, Enigma. Yeah. It's like easy money, easy clap. Yeah. You go like full, what's that old cartoon? Happy Tree Friends, I think is what it was. You know, you just go all out on it. That'd be funny.
Stars. Feuds.
Oh!
I have seen the miracles you so claim.
Tips works.
Until the towering shadows vanished into the mist.
I pray for their grace. But all that came were inferior shades.
Why do we have to bear the consequences of such power?
Time. War. Mortality. These essences shall not fall into your treacherous hands. Wayward emissaries, grant us the forgotten miracles. Rain fire from above. This desolate land needs a sprinkle of madness.
Damn, dude.
Remember, no matter what happens, we did not betray this world.
That looks good. I like that. Let's see. I think George said on his stream last night he played this last summer and was looking forward to it. Oh, interesting. Maybe it must have been at Gamescom or something.
I thought I could be a hero and break the curse. But I was a fool. There is no hope here. And the gods that walk among us thirst for death.
Outsider! Your head is mine!
It scares me that even in this trailer, there's massive frame drops. Like in VR, if you have any frame drops, hella motion sickness kicks in. The fact that already in this trailer they're having frame drops all over the place, that freaks me out.
The poison in my veins begs me to kill.
I'll put you in the ground! The power of our god is immeasurable!
Thought I could be a hero. But heroes don't survive the Forsaken Lands. Only monsters do.
Honestly, as far as VR games are concerned, ooh, baby. As far as VR games are concerned, looks pretty good. Looks interesting. Looks like I need some polish, refinement, but for VR, not bad at all. What's this? I'm glad they're clumping the VR stuff together. Just put it all together. Alien. That's the whole thing. Okay. Yeah, the frames were all over the place there. I wonder if it's like, I don't know what the dev kits are like. I don't know if they can capture, like they capture the footage at 30 frames and then they tried to slow it down and that made it look choppy. I don't know. I've noticed that with a lot of VR games though.
I'm Sean Benson. I'm back on State of Play to introduce more exciting titles coming to PlayStation, starting with a highly anticipated PvP shooter, playable soon on PS5.
Okay. Another one. Marvel.
All realities converge here. Destiny awaits. Stronger together.
Hell unleashed!
Who needs a power-up? Free fire zone.
Embrace the chaos.
Insignificant attacks. Healing power. I'm back, baby. 3, 2, 1, blast off!
Scooter boy.
Gonna get sticky.
It's gonna get sticky, guys. Yeah, you talk. Now whenever a game is coming out, I'm gonna be like, oh, time to get sticky.
Mankind has conquered space.
Closed beta on PS5. Okay. Scarlet Spider, PS5 exclusive. Everstone. Calling it now, Souls-like, am I right? Already. Sometimes you can just tell from the vibe of the trailer immediately. Yep. This looks like one of those games that Souls players who hate themselves play, you know? It's like, oh yeah, you really want to be miserable. We got you. It's like if you played Melania, you fought Melania and you're like, that wasn't hard enough.
Friends and fans. I'm super excited to...
Oh, Until Dawn. Hell yeah. So my background with Until Dawn is that this is like one of the first games I ever played on PS4. It's one of the games that like got me really into modern gaming, and it was fascinating because with the varying storylines and branching narratives and everything, it was always interesting to see how it could turn out. It was also a great party game. I remember playing it in like my very first apartment, handing off the controller to you know, everybody else that was sitting on the couch, friends and girlfriend, stuff like that. And it was just a really good time. Like, it was a great social building experience for everybody. So I hold a special place in my heart for Until Dawn. I love it.
Welcome all my pals back to the annual Blackwood Winter Getaway.
Oh, nice one.
You can't hide from me, Michael.
Oh, you're going down. Oh!
Save tonight. It means so much to me that we're all still here together.
Fight the break of dawn. I feel like someone's watching us.
There's no one out there.
Let's make this one trip.
Is that shot in the original game? So basically my understanding is that they've redone some of the cinematics. They've changed camera angles to make them a little bit wider since the PS5 can handle more detail in a single shot. Back with the original, they had to like zoom in super close. And so like all the shots were ultra tight close-ups. And it's because if they did anything wider than that, it would just cause issues where like it just didn't look right. So my understanding is that they've done a good amount of work on cinematics and stuff like that. They've changed a lot of the lighting because a lot of the lighting before was just very one-dimensional, heavy shadows. Because again, it helped cover up some of the shortcomings of the PS4 hardware, but it's definitely a different vibe, a different tone.
We will never forget.
Mike, Emily?
I was down there.
You were?
It was horrible.
I don't want to make hasty decisions that get everyone killed. No! We should stay put right here until dawn.
Jessica!
You can't let me die!
Yeah, she said it. We have to survive Until Dawn remake. NPC, oh baby. Oh, baby. I'm excited to go back through it again. The quarry's a good time. The quarry, I don't know, it's fine. It's too easy. You know, Until Dawn, you literally turn left when you should have gone right, and a character gets impaled on a thing of rebar and their brain is pouring out of their head. Like, it's pretty intense. The quarry, I think, was dumbed down a little bit too much, in my humble opinion, where it felt like you almost had to try to get somebody killed in that game, you know? Like, playing very irresponsibly. And so, like, for me and Nikki, we played through it once, and I think one person died, and it was one of the characters, no spoilers, but it was one of the characters where, like, you could tell they were kind of trying to push for them maybe to die. And then we did another run where, like, we tried to just screw everything up, and it was very interesting. It was really, really funny to see how it could be different. But yeah, I like Until Dawn. We'll always have a special place right here. And I hope Supermassive, after the quarry, I hope they get their stuff figured out, because Supermassive, the guys that did Until Dawn, they went off and did some, like, I think it was VR stuff. I don't know. They went off and did some weird stuff for a while, and they struggled. And then they announced the Dark Pictures anthology, which had, like, Man of Medan and those games. And they were generally just not great. They were all probably like 6 and 7s out of 10 at best. Just really not great at all. But they were doing that to basically work themselves up to do the quarry. And then they did the quarry. And I thought that was a really cool comeback after all the time since Until Dawn. And now it seems like they're starting to do more of these. And it's interesting. I'm hopeful we get more games like Until Dawn, because they are really, I really enjoy them personally. I really do. And if Sony wants to have, like, visual showcase games, they work great for that. Like, you don't need crazy intense gameplay. You just crank the visuals, and it can be a console, like, system seller just by itself. That's what Until Dawn was. Until Dawn, most people played it back in the day in, like, 2015, I think it came out. It's like, it's just really, really, people played it because it was really beautiful, especially for the time. Now it's aged worse, which is why we have this remake coming, but still, I think it's a good visual system seller. Did you play the Dark Pictures? Yeah, Man of Medan was one of those games that really ticked me off. Like, I was upset I spent as much money on that game as I did. It's, to be fair, it's because I was expecting a lot more, because I was like, yeah, these guys did Until Dawn. They'll know what they're doing. And it was not anywhere near the same class. And so once my expectations were shut down after that, then I was like, okay. You play this for quick, cheap fun, and that's about it. You can have a decent time, but don't expect anything really amazing. Okay, continuing on. Yeah, it was only $30. It was like $20 too much, in my opinion. It crashed like 6 times while we played it. Even then, like, it froze constantly for like 30 seconds at a time. It was, at launch, it was like unacceptable. It was real bad. Now, hopefully it's better, but I don't know. PoE. Grinding Gear Games.
Ogham was once a peaceful land, but each day descends further into madness. Famine and plague besiege us. The very earth is being poisoned. The Count's men, once our protectors, have turned on us. And now they come for me.
Get out here!
For a PS5 port? That looks pretty good.
I must be the one to face this nightmare.
No noose this time. I'll remove your head myself!
But I need not do it alone.
Oh, baby, no way. Really? Whoa. with crossplay. I didn't think they would do that. Oh, baby. Okay, that's pretty Gucci right there. Just the crossplay. The couch co-op already, I was like, okay, that's pretty damn cool. Crossplay, though. Time to get sticky. You're damn right. Time to get sticky. Wow. Okay. Fair play. Cross progression. Brutal. Talk about getting sticky. Early access, late 2024. I'm pretty sure I thought PlayStation didn't do early access. Isn't that the entire reason why they lost out on Palworld? Isn't that the whole reason they missed out on it? Because they don't do early access? So I guess they made an exception. I get why. This is damn cool. The cross progression is crazy interesting. I did not think they could do that. Wow. Well played. That for me so far is, I think, the most surprising and exciting reveal. Ragnarok coming to PC, we all knew that. Like, it was just a matter of time. So that wasn't like, oh, wow, cool. Like, we knew it was coming. Until Dawn, we've seen that. Like, I don't know, nothing really like fantastic, but this is actually pretty cool. Silent.
I'm sorry. I was just...
It's okay. I didn't mean to scare you. I'm kind of lost. I'm looking for Silent Hill.
2? You're looking for Silent Hill 2? I am as well.
I think you should stay away. This town, there's something wrong with it.
Is it dangerous?
Maybe.
I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
I guess I don't really care if it's dangerous or not.
I guess I don't really care about you.
I'm going either way.
No, you shouldn't be here. I'll be good, I promise. Tell him I'll be good, please. No, please.
Okay. I think it looks better than the last time we saw it. It's still pretty clunky, but Bloober's always been like that. Their games have always been like just a little off, usually with like animations. You know, their scenes and set pieces look great, but they, when it comes to movement and stuff, their animation quality is usually a little bit off, but it looks better. So maybe it just keeps improving. The gameplay they showed us looked good. Yeah, I mean, I remember last time we saw it, I was like, but maybe they've figured it out and they're going to keep working on it. But when people are like, dude, I'm so hyped, I'm so stoked for this, Silent Hill 2 is great, I'm like, okay, Silent Hill 2 is great. Konami, though, has not done like anything good in like a decade minimum. So why are we giving them the benefit of the doubt? If you want to give Bloober Team the benefit of the doubt, okay, point to things Bloober's done that earns that extra credit. But like Konami, you should not be giving Konami any benefit of the doubt. Like, really?
Capcom
Yeah, MSG5 or MGS5 was 9 years ago. Yeah.
announced this next game last December, offering just a glimpse of what's in store for their celebrated franchise. Today, I am so excited to share the first full gameplay trailer for Monster Hunter Wilds.
Oh! Again, little background, set the stage, set the scene. I'm a big fan of Monster Hunter. Shout out to my buddy Corey for getting me into it. I love Monster Hunter World. I love Monster Hunter. Rise was okay, but not my cup of tea. I like the big scale of Monster Hunter World. And Wilds looks awesome from what we've seen so far. Already, like, there, if it's just bigger and more of what we had before, I'm in. But I'm very stoked. This is why, like, this one game, if we're seeing this now, I don't think we're seeing any Horizon game at all. Because honestly, like, Monster Hunter World or Wilds, if this launches anywhere close to that Horizon Monster Hunter multiplayer game, I don't think that Horizon game stands a chance. Because the second this is out, 10 million copies sell, everybody's going to be playing it, it's going to be everywhere, and the idea of playing like a live service over monetized Horizon Fortnite version of it is just going to be a turnoff. Fanboy, you're damn right.
As soon as we find a good spot, we can get things set up and ready to go. And then we can get started.
Lip sync, it's Freudian slip there. Lip sync, still not their strong suit. But again, that's not really why you're playing these games.
This is gonna be great.
You bet.
I hope we find
Okay, Kaistad said mommy in chat. Okay. I don't want to hear any mommies. I don't want to hear any milk, please. I don't want to hear any uppies. I don't want to hear any of that in chat, okay? We're going to be mature about this.
Soon.
Billy Elijah, that's most definitely what's up. But Goo Goo Gaga, no, Ethan, you know what you're doing.
Look! Incredible. I've never heard of a Karatnoth herd this big before.
One of them's got big spikes on its back.
Now to lead it away from the pack. We'll make for the desert.
Right.
Oh yeah. Dynamic weather events.
Now commencing the hunt by order of the guild.
Wait a minute. So the little guys can now do like little turf war things. Okay. I like that. That's cool. That way, because like in the other Monster Hunters that I've played, it's always like, well, there's the big bosses and then there's a little like fodder enemies. And they don't tend to interact like hardly at all. But if now there can be like turf wars and stuff between the big guys and the little guys. Interesting. Wait. Did I miss? Has the great sword. Oh, shoot. Oh. So you can hot swap weapons. So you can bring two weapons on a hunt and swap them out without having to do anything crazy like going back to camps or anything. That's interesting. Okay. So I wonder if that opens it up for even more complex boss encounters and stuff, where you can have a ranged weapon and a close range weapon, and they can have bosses and dragons and stuff that are much more difficult to get to unless you're using a ranged weapon, and kind of toss it in together. Interesting. Booyah!
I've selected you as a lead hunter for this expedition.
Thank you, sir.
Voice protagonist too? Oh! He's bracing the mouth open with the greatsword. I'm a greatsword player usually, so that gets me all kinds of excited. Okay. Okay. I'm interested. This is the thing where, like, remember again, that Horizon multiplayer game is supposedly a Monster Hunter kind of spin-off clone kind of thing. How on earth does that with a Fortnite coat of paint compete with this? I don't know. Hopefully it's so good that it does, but this looks mighty, mighty pretty. This looks mighty good. Are you worried about this new Monster Hunter's performance after Dragon's Dogma 2? I mean, Monster Hunter 2, it seemed to mostly be, or Monster Hunter 2, Dragon's Dogma 2, it seemed mostly to be relegated to cities and places where there were a lot of NPCs. If that holds true here, and when there's a lot of monsters on screen, performance takes a nosedive, that'll be a problem, of course, there. But Monster Hunter World even ran quite well. I don't remember any major issues, so maybe I'm just forgetting them. But I mean, time will tell. We'll see. My guess is this will be playable at Summer Game Fest, so we'll probably have an idea of how it runs within like a week. Astro Bot. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. What's funny is, like, now knowing this story, this is all the funnier. Astro Bot trailer gets 99% likes on YouTube. Concord gets 18. Now I get it. I can see why. That looked pretty good. That looked pretty dang good. I'll give him I'll give them that. That's legit the best trailer. Yeah, no, I mean, it's PlayStation's
Be sure
Mario.
to visit PlayStation blog for more on the games you just saw, as well as PlayStation.com for the latest on Days of Play. This global celebration runs through June 12th, with deals on PlayStation Store, great new content coming to PlayStation Plus, and much more.
Man. Wow. And that's what we got. So we got Astro Bot 2024, Concord coming in August, I believe they said. God of War PC coming 2024, Until Dawn 2024. And then Monster Hunter Wilds, which is cross-platform, as is, I think Dynasty Warriors is cross-platform as well. Silent Hill 2, which is coming 2024. And then some of the other little stuff they showed, like, you know, Marvel's, whatever this is, that's cross-platform. The VR stuff, of course, the one with everyone's favorite characters. So yeah, there's that. So there's been honestly, there was a lot there. There's a lot there. All told, I can understand why people were maybe broadly disappointed. I mean, let's read some of these comments. I have a feeling these are going to be funny. PlayStation should honestly just stop working on live service games. Shareholders are the biggest threat to quality on this planet. The world doesn't need more multiplayer FPS games. Concord Cinematic was giving me Guardians of the Galaxy vibes until they showed it's a 5v5 shooter and all my interest went away. 5.6k upvotes. Concord looks exactly like the kind of game I will never play. You know the game is garbage when you think you have to show a 4-minute cinematic trailer to sell a 5v5 game. I got the impression that this was them, like, you know how, like, for some reason at all of the BlizzCon things, they're always trying to frame Overwatch around, like, the characters. And they're like, we know you've come to know and love Tracer as a character. And because you love Tracer as a character, we're developing her story further with another cartoon, comic book, whatever, to expand. Like, they're always really pushing the story. And I think there are some people that are into it. Otherwise, they just wouldn't bother at all. But I think it's because they want to create, like, a fandom really, really bad. And so they try to create all these narrative ties and hooks to get you to fall in love with the characters. None of the characters, except maybe the big yellow robot, were interesting to me in Concord. None of them really stood out. But I mean, most of these comments are about how terrible Concord looked. The Concord crew looked like they would have had potential to grow as characters and have interesting stories. Shame they'll be stuck as quippy stereotypes in a hero shooter. Yeah, that's the thing. All of the characters in hero shooters tend to just be like really watered down stereotypes. The gaming industry condensed in one video: Souls-likes, games as a service, remakes, and ports. Congrats to all the developers featured for not being fired yet. Jesus Christ. Astro Bot actually stole the show and Sony even knew it would. Yeah. I mean, the fact that that was their finisher, it's kind of crazy. But Concord went from cool world design, I'm in, to seeing 5v5 arena shooter, and I'm hard out. This, as a larger spacefaring co-op heist adventure, could be something. Concord, a game nobody asked for and nobody will play 6 months post-launch. You know the game is garbage when you think you have to show. Oh, that's the... Did they just copy that comment? I think we just read that. Yeah, no, they just copied the message. Okay, wow. 100% not interested in Concord. What's the standalone trailer for Concord look like? Gameplay trailer. 1 week after this game drops, we're sorry this game didn't meet your expectations. 6 months later, shuts down. Do we have some ideas to make our game stand out? No, boss. Okay, let's make it. It's like a parody of a game, a parody game of every trope in the modern West Coast game dev sphere. It even has the turquoise blue media backgrounds and the quirky millennial writer quips at the end of the trailer. I refuse to believe this is not in fact a parody game. I really thought we left this era of games behind us. How generic do you want your game? Yes. Even the voice actors don't sound enthusiastic about the game. So you were telling me that over 80 developers at least sat down in their offices for straight 5 years minimum developing this game, and none of them asked, where is the soul in this? Dude, video game, the game. This is my favorite. I've literally seen fake games made for monitor marketing pictures that are more interesting. Dude. That's so savage. That's so savage, dude. That's so dirty. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Wow. Yeah, I'm here for the comments. Me too. Guys, people are bored of Overwatch. Like, let's make another one, but worse. Yeah, basically. Concord, Star-Lord, and the gang from Temu. Dude, kinda. I don't understand who's supposed to be like, I think she's supposed to be the main character in the trailer. Like, she's supposed to be the main one that a lot of the focus is on. But all the focus ends up more on him. And I don't know. It's just, again, I feel like they could have shown this stuff to anyone and they would have told you how this would go over. Like, this is what I just genuinely don't understand. Are the people that are making these games literally in such a bubble that they just never hear the feedback on this? And so they're surprised when the game is received this way? Or do they know what it's going to be received like and they just are hoping that enough people don't care that it can be successful? I don't know. But like, again, it gives me strong like Lawbreakers vibes. The game will get review bombed. I mean, if people even care that much, remember like Suicide Squad, if we go over here, like it's still at mostly positive reviews. And it's because the only people that bothered buying it to play it were people that were going to like it. Like they decided this is going to be my game. I think all of this footage that we're seeing on screen now looks really good. I'm in. So all told, after all of that, where would I rate it? You guys rated it at 5 with a lot of 6s. So probably averaging out like around a 6. Astro Bot looked good. All of this stuff, like Monster Hunter is cross-platform. The game looks great, but it's cross-platform. It's not really exclusive. Silent Hill 2 still looks kind of funky. PoE, that's actually a W. This looked really good. The cross progression and all that stuff is great. But again, it's not a PlayStation game. Until Dawn, it's chugging along. Marvel's Rivals, again, not them. Where Winds Meet. This actually looked good and interesting, but we'll see what that actually, how that comes together. Concord was their big one. Silent Hill 2. This was the gameplay trailer. And then Astro Bot, like I said, looked great. So that's a W. But it's kind of hard to find. It's kind of hard to find the saving grace with all this. It's a whole lot of nothing. They spent the first third, literally the first third of the event showcasing Concord, which just no part of it looks like it's gonna work. And I'm trying to find the silver lining. I just can't find it. I don't know what I'm supposed to look at that's like really good. You're showing me, oh, well, we're gonna have cinematics to develop their stories. Okay, but that's not in the game. That's a cinematic that starts, I think, did they say weekly? So like, okay, that's just gonna make me wish we had a different game. If it's really good, it's just gonna make me wish that we had a single player narrative game that did that instead of a 5v5. Yeah, Concord will be on PC too. Yeah, again, they're just hoping for another Helldivers situation. They're hoping that they can launch this, people try it, and it clicks and it finds overwhelming success and people just start eating it up. Helldivers 2, though, I think to assume that you can just replicate that easily is foolhardy. I think that's a little ridiculous. The reason why Helldivers 2 popped off is it came out at like the perfect time. People were coming off Pal World. It appealed to PC gamers. It was very memeable and community driven. No part of a 5v5 hero shooter is like community driven. It's just not. Like in Helldivers, part of the fun was that everybody could work together to achieve certain goals, like clear this planet with all the missions. Okay, we cleared it. Now we all get rewards by doing that. So it's community driven to actually progress the meta narrative of the game and the story. With this, none of that's the case. It's just an Overwatch ripoff that has some different coats of paint. And I'm like, there's just nothing really clear to hook you. Yeah, I don't think people understand just how powerful that meme ability was. That was crucial. That was crucial for Helldivers 2 popping off, but this just doesn't have any of that. Like, what are you going to do? Clip one of the funny, interesting quips from one of the characters? Wow, they said something so badass and witty. Oh, baby. Again, I don't really know what I was expecting, but I was still somehow expecting a bit more than what Concord brought. Because like in their online post, they were saying, yeah, we're trying to make sure that players can tell stories with each other every time they log in and all that. And it's like, okay, interesting. But what does that mean? And now we see, oh, it just means it's a 5v5 shooter and that's it. Like that's all there is. It's just marketing crap. Yep. Rock, good to see you, my friend. Yeah, in Shinobi Drip, you're right. In Helldivers, you actually make your own cinematics. Yeah, there's been, if you've ever played that game, you know, there's moments where you'll do something crazy and you clip it and you're like, that was freaking cool. You know, it's just awesome. Leo, thank you for the 4 months. I'm unsubscribing from your channel if you don't review Infinity Nikki. Well, it sounds like you forced my hand. Sounds like I have to. I mentioned before, guys, we are doing critiques. I don't know if you guys were here for that stream, but we are doing critiques. We're going to kick those off again. My goal is for the next one, it'll go up while I'm like the gap when I'm on vacation in early July for the 4th of July. So sometime early July, that critique will go up. And we're going to be relaunching the Patreon as part of that. And what we're going to do is I'm going to basically just open it up to patron votes to vote for the next critique. So straight up, if everybody voted for me to do Infinity Nikki or whatever it was called, well, that's what the patrons decided. So that's what we're going to do. And we do a massive critique on a game where you play a woman with a bunch of walking and talking cats. And I think it would be funny, but we would do it. So yeah, I'm excited to get back into the critiques and stuff. It's going to be good. We found a way to structure it where it will make sense. And I mean, depending on what levels and tiers we hit in terms of patron support and stuff, we could reasonably get to the point where, like, if we reach a certain level and, you know, people vote for like a freaking critique of Concord or something, we could straight up go and reach out to the devs and see if we could go fly as a team. We could fly to the studio and film interviews with devs and stuff. And so we do a critique documentary hybrid, and we could do all sorts of really cool stuff with it, which I think would be so freaking cool if we could pull that off. Like, just imagine how awesome that would be. Like, oh, we want to do a Path of Exile 2 critique. Okay, well, let's me and my agent and everybody, we will contact the devs. We'll try to organize like the interviews with the devs, and then we could actually pitch some of the thoughts of what we thought of the game and maybe constructive critiques and stuff. We could even ask them, why was this choice made? Why did you do it this way instead of this way? And then get their actual feedback. It could be really, really cool, I think. I mean, this is in the nicest way. Please don't do Concord. Well, that's the great thing, Gunnar Dan. I won't really get to decide. Like, it'll be up to viewer votes, or patron votes rather. So like, if everybody votes for Concord, we'll do Concord. If everybody votes for Infinity Nikki, we do that. If everybody votes to go back and retroactively do Hellblade 2, like, we do that. So there's all sorts of cool stuff we could do. He took my thing.